Okay, taking a look at question 4, part C from sample paper B out of the examination papers. We see we have an instant camera and we have the 3D view of it here. And the question asks us, the image below shows the design of a similar camera sold by Retroflash. Draw an elevation in the direction of arrow A. So we'll be looking in at the front here in the direction of arrow A. An end elevation in the direction of arrow B to show the edge view of the curve. It should be this area here. And then a plan projected from the elevation to show the curve. So if we look at how we'd start this, the first thing to do is to get the XY line. So in order to get that, I measured down 120 millimeters from the top. That gave me this line here, and I can put that in as a heavy line across the bottom, which is going to act as the base for the elevation and the end view. To start the drawing then, we measured in 20 millimeters here from the side, and that gives us the start of our drawing. Now all of these lines that I have marked here are taken from these measurements here. So we have 8, 27, 10, 10, 10, 27 and 8, and all of those are marked along there. From this line here, over 8, 27, 10, 10, 10, 27 and 8. The heights there that I have marked so far in elevation, the first height here is up. The first height there is up 20 to give us this portion here, up 20, then 40, and then up another 40 for an overall height of 80 millimeters. So you can see that there, you have 40 and 40, which gives us an overall height of 80 millimeters. But we also have this little platform here at the front, which is up 20. So when we look at our elevation there, we measure up 20. That brings us up to this line here. 40 brings us up to this edge here at the back, that edge at the back, and that's why it's indicated as a dotted line in the elevation, because it can't be seen, and then up another 40 to get the top. To start off the plan, I've left 20 millimeters of separation between the elevation and the plan. So I've measured down there 20, and then we look at our measurements in plan. We have 10, 70, 10 and 10 for a total of 100. So after measuring down 20 to get the back of the object, I measured down 10 and then 70 and then 10 and 10 again, and that gives me the plan. This line I'm not going heavy in just yet because there's a bit more information I need to get on that, but I can heavy in the perimeter of the plan and this line here at the back, which is this sloping surface. As we look down on it, you can see there that that's coming in 10. So as you look down on that, you'll have this small rectangle which represents this sloping surface here. And then at the front, back 10 and heavy in that. Now, once you have all of that there, you use your 45-degree set square, sitting on your T-square, and all those lines are brought up then at an angle of 45 degrees to get the end view. So we bring all these lines up here at an angle of 45 degrees. And looking here at the distances that we will have, from the front of this, we are going to be measuring back 20, but also a height of 20. So to get that area there, you can see this vertical line is up 20 and then it comes back 20. This line here, we're told in the question, is rising up at an angle of 56 degrees from this horizontal line. So you get your protractor and placing the protractor so that you have 0 along the line and the center point right on the corner, we mark off here at the top an angle of 56 degrees. And once we've done that and you have that point marked here at the top, we then draw a line from this corner up to here to get that line. And then finally at the back, we have this back surface here that comes in a distance of 10. So it rises up 40, but then it comes in 10. So over here we have 40, and then from the bottom we measure in 10 and bring that line all the way up to the top, and then join that down, and that then gives us the end view. So that completes the basic setup of the three views. So come down 120 XY line, come in 20 to get the start of the elevation, and then it's 8, 27, 10, 10, 10, 27 and 8. The heights then in elevation 20, 40 and 80, mark them. The distance of separation between the elevation and plan 20, and then come down 10, 70, 10 and 10 for an overall distance of 100, and then these lines come up at an angle of 45 degrees and produce the end view out of that. So once you have the end view drawn, and when you bring up this line at an angle of 56 degrees, as this horizontal line comes over, they intersect at that point. So we drop that down as a vertical line, and you bring that back at an angle of 45 degrees, and that gives you the position of this line here in the plan. So once you have that corner found, drop it down, bring it back at 45 degrees, and that gives you that line in plan. To get the position of the circle here in elevation, if we look at the drawing, we can see here, in order to get the center line for this vertical line here that's going to give us the center of the circle, we have to measure over 32, and from the top to come down 30, and this is a radius of 27. So to get this vertical line from the edge, the extreme edge of the camera, measure over 32 and draw a light vertical line. Then measure down 30 to get this line here, and then where those two lines cross, give you your center. Point to the compass there, set it to radius 27 and draw this circle here. Once you have that done, that will give you the bottom and the top of the circle, which we project over here into the end view. And then this line comes out until it hits this line there that is 10 millimeters away from the front. Likewise, this line here at the top will extend out until it meets this line here that is back 10 from the front of the object. So as we look at the camera here, we will see this vertical line, horizontal line, and this is where the curve intersects this surface here, like that. So once we have the elevation of the circle drawn, we bring over the top and the bottom over here, and then extend out that line, extend that line out until they meet this line here. And finally then, all we have to do is get the position of this button on the top of the camera. So if we look here at the measurements of it, it tells us to come in 10 from this side, and it has a length of 25, and then to come in 10 from the line here at the top, and another 10. So in 10, 25, and then 10 and 10. So from this edge here, I measured over 10, and that gave me this edge of the button, then over 25, and that will put that on this line here. So there's no measurements. It's the first of these lines here that are 10 millimeters wide. From the back then, we measure in 10 and 10, and that gives us the position of the button on top, and you can heavy in the rectangle. Then we bring these two lines onto the side, we bring them up at an angle of 45 degrees and straight up into elevation, and that gives us the position of the button in the end view. And it has a height of 7, so we measure up 7 to get the button. And then from plan, we project up into the elevation to get the position of the button in elevation. And once you have the top measured over 7, you can bring that across, and that gives you the height of the button there. So that there is how we find this line. Once you have this corner found in the end view, drop it down onto the XY line, bring it back at an angle of 45 degrees, and it's a heavy line across here. In order to get the circle, you measure in from the right hand side of the object, the right hand side of the camera, in 32 to get the vertical line, and down 30 to get the horizontal line. Radius 27, draw the circle. And then the bottom of the circle and the top of the circle we bring over into the end view, and we produce the side view of the cylinder as it intersects the body of the camera. And then finally the button, measuring 10 and then 25, and from the back 10 and 10 gives us this rectangle here. Bring these two lines onto the edge of the plan, bring it up at 45 degrees and then up into the end view. Measure up 7, get the button in end view, and then bring it across into elevation. And that's that bit done. And finally then, to get the area where the photograph comes out of, if we look here at the drawing, it tells us to measure up 8 and then 4, and then the edge of the rectangle is in 8 and in 8. So over here you can see there these two little dots here at the side, measured up 8 and 4 and brought these lines across with the T-square, and then the edge of those is where we measured in 8 millimeters originally and 8 millimeters this side. So once you have these two heights here marked, up 8 and up 4, bring them across and then draw this rectangle, and that completes the elevation. So there is still a little bit more to draw on the plan, but we'll talk about that tomorrow night in class. So if you can get that done tonight, the elevation, the plan and the end view drawn. Look at the measurements, here's the solution of what it should turn out like, and get that sorted and have that done for tomorrow's class.